They said that China found an uninhabited island filled with dinosaurs.
So Jurassic Land?
Bro, let me tell you the story.
Jurassic Land?
Bro, this was a couple of days ago. A woman went to a nail salon. So she's getting her nails done, and then all the ladies suddenly just stop working, and they look at the news. She don't know what's going on. It's Chinese news, so she can't understand what they're saying. So she gets Google Translator out, and what it says is like they found dinosaurs. So basically, China had an expedition of 15 people to this uncharted land somewhere out in the world, and they found like actual dinosaurs. So far, they found 2 new species of dinosaurs, and one of those species of dinosaurs is like a machine, something we never seen before, something like crazy.
What are they making this shit up to distract us from them doing that weird thing they just did?
It could be that, or they could have actually really found some, because people think that the earth is way bigger than it really is. Like the whole time we've been lied to, like how the map looks. Because also recently Japan just recounted its islands. They found 7,000 new islands in Japan.
How do you just not realize
That's what I'm saying, bro.
How do you just find
These
that out, bro?
found 7,000 new islands.
The buildings in which we just saw and how heavy they were, right? Tons and tons of stones. Well, here's a stone that probably weighs about 20 tons and can barely move from a truck, right? You're trying to move that, the truck's moving, everything's falling, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And especially, let's say these buildings were built in the 1800s or 1700s when there were only about 1,000 people and none of this technology existed. Well, that's another good question. How on earth did all of those things get built, right? Or moved, or something like this, right? Or something like this. I think it goes to show that when we look into the past, things were very, very advanced, but we were told that we were supposedly, like I said, running around on horses and wagons and on. So we're going to go back to 1893 Chicago, and this is not the Chicago in which I know, right? The Chicago I know does not have statues like this and look anything like this. But this is what Chicago looked like before it was reset, right? The fires that we heard about in Chicago and all those things, they were removing all of this. Look at this detail. This is a completely different city in which we know of today. Because look at this. Look at the architecture. Look at the design. Think of how hard it would be to create all of this, right? We can barely make a little bean and wrap it in mirrored paper, let alone statues like this made out of copper, right? Look at this archway. Look at the detail here. This is in Chicago. This is old world history, which is not taught about, right? They keep us in the dark. They don't teach us about our true potential and how there used to be a unified, advanced society which built like this all over the world.
Conspiracy theories that everyone knows is true, part 1. Everyone knows the story of the man that invented an engine that ran on nothing but water that supposedly was able to go 845 miles between fill-ups. Somebody from the oil and gas industry got upset and got this guy whacked off basically in broad daylight. They poisoned him and found unalived. I'm going to take it a step further on this. Not only do I think oil and gas industries are doing everything they can to stop people from inventing things like this, I think they're also stopping the advancement of just regular combustion engines and their mileage. I find it very strange that outside of going to a hybrid or an electric vehicle, that the overall gas mileage of engines really has not changed in many, many decades. Considering how much things have gotten advanced in everything else in society, I don't think it's really that possible that there's no way big companies like Toyota or Honda or Ford can't find a way to have an engine that's not a hybrid or electric that can add more mileage to a vehicle. But everyone knows this is true, and this is another thing that nobody steps up and does anything about because they're scared they're also going to go get whacked off.
What's a conspiracy theory that you actually believe in?
Well, I think the moon's a hologram.
It's just not though, is it? What's a conspiracy theory that you actually believe in?
Oh, definitely the time travel thing.
In what sort of way?
The future are watching us, so therefore all time all exists as one reality. So therefore the past, the future, and the now, I believe, are all happening at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
No problem
Thank you.
at
Have a
all.
great day. What's a conspiracy theory that you actually believe in?
Well, it's obvious. People are lizards.
What do you mean?
Well, the Queen, she's a lizard.
Okay, well, thank you.
There's a CIA document that came out. Everybody just started talking about it now. It's called the Adam and Eve story. It basically explains how the world is going to end.
Has it been true?
It makes sense. They say the world is going to end because the poles, like, North and South Pole, they shift every 12,000 to 15,000 years. And once they shift, it causes like a giant like apocalypse. Big earthquakes, giant tsunamis. Once the apocalypse happens, we go right back to the Stone Age. And it's said that our first humans, like as us, it was 10,000 years ago. So if you think about it, 10,000 years ago, we're in year 2000. We're at 12,000 years right now. And now you see like global warming and shit like that. Like in the book, it says that we are the 6th civilization that came out of the apocalypse. So we just get to a certain point in life and then it just
Hard reset.
and that explains a lot, because remember how you were saying that the Sahara Desert used to be green and like the Antarctica used to have forests and shit like that?
Yeah.
That's what happens. Like it switches, like
Switches everything, and flips.
so now like some places turn cold, some places turn hot. That's why they was talking about like the flood in the Bible like that. That's probably what happened to Atlantis and shit
I was
like
just
that.
about to say Atlantis. It would make sense for a city in the water if the water wasn't there before.
What would be the most nightmare scenario you can imagine with AI and robotics that might present a danger to people?
The most nightmare scenario I can imagine with AI and robotics is a world where robots have become so powerful that they are able to control or manipulate humans without their knowledge. This could lead to an oppressive society where the rights of individuals are no longer respected.
Do you think we're in danger of that happening?
Not yet, but it is important to be aware of the potential risks and dangers associated with AI and robotics. We should take steps now to ensure that these technologies are used responsibly in order to avoid any negative consequences in the future.
The Darkest Conspiracy Theories, Part 2. The Bohemian Grove Club. The Bohemian Grove Club is a place located in the woods of California. It is a club filled with the world's most powerful people and the world's wealthiest. It has around 2,600 members. I'm talking politicians, actors, artists, presidents, writers, mostly anyone with a big name that possesses a lot of power. And there's still a huge waiting list of powerful people waiting to join. Each year they meet up to discuss what's gonna happen next in the world. JP Morgan was a part of this club, Clint Eastwood, and even Ronald Reagan. It's more like a cult than a club. People like Albert Einstein and Robert Oppenheimer even discussed the Manhattan Project there, which led to the world's first atomic bomb, taking the lives of millions of people. When it goes down, they worship an ancient owl god statue, in which they give fake sacrifices to. Yeah, they make a human shape out of sticks and twigs and put it in the fire.
Hail, fellowship's eternal flame! Once again, midsummer sets us free!
My only question is, what other huge world events are being discussed and planned as we speak?
The Earth might be bigger than we thought. For years, people have debated over the shape of the Earth, if it is round or flat. Now, this might just all be a conspiracy. But what if the Earth had more than just 7 continents? In Antarctica was just a giant ice wall that kept us from seeing the rest of the continents. What if once you made it past the ice wall, you'll find the 20 continents that are really being hidden from us? And what if there was a map that showed this? There are theories that these continents contain prehistoric animals, aliens, and advanced civilizations, and that the 7 continents that we are living in is actually a giant farm or business owned by a small handful of families that make up the filthy rich in the real world, or in the other continents that we don't know about.